It is June 2nd, 2018. We are here at 215 South 32nd Street, San Diego, California, 92113. We've walked the perimeter of the property and we didn't find any cleanouts for any of the drain fixtures or for the main sewer. So we're here on the rooftop right now. Right here, we've got one vent pipe kind of seen across. That's for the lavatory, possibly also the shower. Then we have these two vent pipes right here, which were improperly capped with these vent caps. These are for HVAC ducting, and nothing is supposed to be over the plumbing vents. So we're going to put these two back on over these two plumbing vents, but those need to be removed by the new homeowner. Those should not be in there and not be placed over the top of the vents at all. This 2-inch vent here leads back across the roof line when we looked into the attic, and it actually is the vent for the kitchen and laundry, and we'll show that later. We're not going to go down that pipe. We're going to go under the kitchen sink. Right here is the large 4-inch pipe. This is ABS for just a few feet for where they redid part of the roofing and flashing. Now we're back to the original cast iron pipe. So this should lead directly into the main sewer line for the toilet. Essentially the beginning of the sewer system. So you can see water coming in right there. We flushed the toilet upon arriving. Since it is vacant, we wanted to get some water in the system. So that's the closet elbow there where the toilet dumps into the line. And then right here is our transition from our vertical vent and beginning of the drain to the horizontal line. Okay, you can see right there, that's the capped end of the line in the crawl space, which is doesn't look too accessible. We're going to try to get our camera to steer the other way. There we go. We've got some construction debris, it looks like, inside the pipe. So as we move forward here within just a few inches, you can see there's some heavy debris from probably when they cut out the vent pipe here, possibly. Little chunks fell down, or some other roofing or other construction debris. So we're going to go ahead and try to maneuver our camera down and across that. There we go. Jump over that debris if we can. Some pretty big debris. There we go. We got over that. That's going to need to be possibly pushed through or retrieved. If it's metallic, there are some special magnetic retrieval tools. We can try to pull that out. Otherwise, a hydro jetter is going to have to try to forcibly push that down with pressurized water out. So we're going to continue down the line. See, we've got a little bit of original cast iron, and then somebody here cut into the cast iron and added a new T-junction, probably for that shower. So right here we have a T-junction for the main sewer. This also could just be the T-junction for where the kitchen and laundry dump into as well. Then we transition right back to cast iron again. Looks like we may have some real small fine roots, possibly on the upper side wall of the pipe right there. We're going to take a quick photo of that. Looks like that is the hub, and then we can see a little bit of flaking of the inside wall of the pipe. It looks like those are some very small, fine black roots, and you can see the white toilet paper is kind of collected on top of them. Take another quick photo of that. So it's hard to definitively say, but it does look like that pipe is failing right there, allowing a little bit of fine roots to grow into the system. Continue to push down the line. Overall, the pipe is quite open for its age. Doesn't have a massive amount of buildup or scale or deposits in the line. Okay, we're transitioning to 4-inch ABS pipe again. This is possibly for a clean-out access. It does look like there's a T-junction facing vertically up, so there must be a buried clean-out that we did not see on the property to access the line. We'll go continue down the line, then we'll locate that. A lot of bugs in the pipe there, as you can see. Transitioning right back to cast iron again. Got a little lip on the pipe from the buildup that's there. We're going to jump over that real quick. It's now still original cast iron pipe. We assume that this line is running into the backyard and not towards 32nd Street. It's probably going through an easement by the fence lines. But we'll locate that clean out to see what side of the house it's on. Okay, looks like we have a turn on the line right here. We're going to push through this with some speed here. There we go. There's a T-junction right there. Now this could be picking up, depending on where it's going, possibly one of the neighbors' lines. They were allowed to share pipes in the old days. They're not allowed to do that now. Every house has to have its own lateral. But this may be a T-junction that's picking up another one of the homes, or it was just because they used a T-fitting to make a turn on the system, and also would have had possibly been trying to utilize it as a possible clean-out access. We're going to push through that. Continue down the line here. I think we've got another turn on the system. Push through this if we can. We're probably going to have to run some water to get through all these turns and there's more distance that we're out here. See, we're catching up on this additional turn we're having to make. So we're not going to force this too hard, and instead of finding or running the water at first, what we're going to go ahead and do is pause the video and pull back to the buried clean out that we did locate, and we'll go ahead and find that on the property and see if it is brought to surface so that it's accessible to continue the inspection. Okay, so we've located this buried clean out. It was in fact buried below the dirt by the gas meter. So the line is actually not coming off the back side of the house, but what would be, I believe, the south side. So we'll move our camera over to there, but what we do want to do is go ahead and move back over to where some of that cast iron, which again, this is under the house, possibly had a little bit of fine roots maybe trying to get through the line. So we'll pull back to that spot, take one more look at that, and then we'll go ahead and move our camera system down to the ground level to the clean out we found. So here's what seems to be some small fine roots possibly getting into the system. Sometimes this image will be even slightly better than what we're seeing when it's viewed on a computer and uploaded to YouTube when we get back to our office. So we'll see if it looks any more clear and distinguishable. So what we're going to do, though, is we're going to go ahead and pause because and locate this because this is obviously under the house, close to the bathroom area. So we'll move our camera right underneath that, and now we'll locate. Okay, so we've located this one small area. I'll show it one last time as we back up slowly there. This is under the house, and it's right in between the bedroom and the bathroom, and we're going to go ahead, pull the camera out and show on the inside of the house where this is at. We did look in through the crawl space. There's no access. It's very tight, and you'd have to literally, it's pipe, if it got to the point it had to be replaced, you would have to open up the floors to get down into this cast iron pipe below. There's no other way to get to it. We're going to pause the video, move the camera. Okay, so we moved our camera down to ground level. Before we go in the house and show where there one very small possible cracking and root intrusions at under the house, we're going to show, here's where we found the buried clean out that was under all the dirt. It's missing the 4-inch threaded cap. Somebody had literally just put in an old kitchen sink basket strainer, had jammed it into the top, and it was all full of mud and dirt. So we're going to go ahead and take one of the paint cans we see over there and put it over the top of that. The 4-inch clean out plug needs to be purchased and threaded into here. So this is, again, our access point. We've already passed this area, but we now can see that the line is headed towards the neighbor's house directly here. So we do pretty much know now that this T-junction we're coming up on right here, that's picking up the neighbor's house. So they're sharing one pipe. The only time that's a problem is if there's an issue after the T-junction. If the sewer line backs up, then the water would also back up into this house here, not just theirs. And if they caused it, that could be a headache. So sometimes it's recommended to put what's called a check valve on the line, so that if the line backed up, the little gate would stop anything from coming in reverse. And then you would know you'd have to snake it out, because your plumbing would then start to slowly back up behind that closed gate. So we're going to go ahead and try to get again down this line that we couldn't previous because of the number of turns from the rooftop and distance. So we've got some standing water at the bottom of the pipe. Of course, you never want to see that, because that means there's either some debris built up on the bottom, it doesn't have proper slope, or could just mean that the bottom is starting to get so heavily corroded and eaten out that the bottom's kind of worn away. But when things are just holding out, that's going to sag and hold debris up. Now, we don't see any debris in the line right now. Again, this house is vacant, but if the neighboring house that might be sharing this pipe is home, then maybe they're using. So we don't see anything stuck in the line right now, so that's some good news. Coupling's clear. Got a little bit of debris in our camera face, but before we run some water, we're going to just keep pushing down the line now. The view's still not completely blocked up. That little water's going to wash it off. There we go. So you can see there's some mounds of buildup. So that little debris that's right there, that's what's kind of damming and holding that water up. We'll actually push through that. Get through the next area here. So it's just very, very old cast iron pipes. We'll probably go next door and ask them if they're home to run some water down their system so we can confirm that that's their T-junction. Looks like we're coming up to a transition here finally. This is clay pipe. You can see there's some roots intruding on the right and left sides of the line. They're not very big right now, they're pretty small. See a little bit of debris penetrating that clay to clay pipe junction. And it looks like we're coming up to another transition the city replaced with PVC greenbelt pipe. So there the clay ends already, and we're a new plastic pipe, and here's the end of the line emptying into the big city pipe. So this is the end of this lateral line. So we're now going to go ahead and pause the video and pull back and see if the neighbor's home to see if we can get them to run some water down the system to confirm that. Okay, so 223 South 32nd Street is the neighbor to the south of this property. This line is running across through their backyard and their parking space off the alleyway. So the sewer pipe here is in the alleyway south of the property. So this line is running through an easement again through the neighboring house. Unfortunately, doesn't look like anybody's home, and they have locked gates even to get to the front door of the house at that property. So we have no way to knock on the door and ask somebody to run some water down the system if it is occupied. But it's pretty much almost a guarantee again that that line is going to be shared. So again, we have our roots intruding right here. We're going to go ahead and pause the video right here and locate this to see if this is in the alleyway, which it should be, or if it's in the fenced property of the neighbors. Okay, so we've gone ahead and located this root intrusion in the clay pipe. It is about 27 inches deep, 2 feet, 3 inches deep. It's about 5 feet into the alleyway as you leave the, again, driveway and backyard of the neighboring property. It's not anything you would ever dig up and repair. It would just be maintained. If the roots got thicker, you would do a hydrojetting. As of right now, it doesn't require any snaking or hydrojetting. A foaming chemical treatment can be put down. Can be done every 9 to 12 months to help keep them from growing in any more severely. Those would have to be, though, done in conjunction with the neighbor because any water that's put down the pipe would wash it away. So, again, we're 99.9% sure that this is a shared pipe. It's running through and across their property, and we have that T-junction off the back side. So I'm sure this is all one pipe from a long time ago, the way they built the homes then. But again, without being able to run water down that other house, we have no way to access it at this time. We can't 100% confirm that. We're going to keep pulling back here. So again, you can see we have some possible deterioration, a little bit of buildup in the bottom of the pipe there. It's extremely old cast iron, but it is completely functional. It doesn't require any immediate repairs or any replacement at this point in time. We cannot guarantee, though, how long it will last with the rough bottom edges of causing a stoppage or eventually any type of replacement. It's obviously well past its lifespan. We're going to go ahead and come back here for 1 second. Got some debris on the upper and left side of the pipe. I don't know if those are a couple little miniature fine roots growing into the line or if that's just some other debris. That's in the neighbor's backyard, so it's not locatable. Okay, so here's our turn right there. And there's our T-junction. So again, we don't have a way to confirm all those things, but it's likely that they don't have their own sewer line, that's where they share one pipe. Okay, we just came out of the clean out here. Wipe our camera lens off. Okay, we're going to go move inside the house. We're going to pause the video. Okay, so here's the bathroom in the house, and see the one red disc right there. That denotes where the sewer pipe is. And as we come into the bedroom, there's the yellow disc and the red disc. That's, again, the path of the pipe. And the yellow disc right underneath the wall, essentially, is where in the first part of the video we showed what looked like some small, fine black roots growing into the pipe. Again, there's no crawl space access. There's literally only a few inches. When you do look under from the outside of the house or one of the vents, you can see that none of the pipe is exposed. It is all under dirt in its entirety. So again, the line heads over and heads across south and to the next property to head out to get to the city main and the alleyway. Now I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and move over to the kitchen and laundry. Okay, we switched out to a smaller camera here, so you're seeing the laundry. We have no clean out access on the outside and nothing on the inside. As we look down, just visually, to start down this box, this looks like a small 1.5-inch pipe, and laundry is required by code to be 2-inch. This is a very small pipe, and we have an immediate 90-degree elbow, which you typically don't want to see. That can cause suds and water to back up out of there, especially if you put the hose down too deep, which it's only a few inches down anyway, probably about 6 inches. So it's supposed to be a straight vertical pipe for the standpipe of anywhere from 24 to 30 inches typically. So see, we're now, after that 90, we're running across what appears to be horizontal. We're going to go ahead and look with our flashlight down the pipe here. So, there we go. So this, we have a screw penetrating the line. So somebody broke this pipe, and it's going to need to be opened up and replaced. Because during some part of the cabinet install or some outside sheathing, we're not really sure, somebody went ahead and penetrated this laundry drain, and you can see the screw right there. We'll go ahead and try to locate that. Again, this pipe already is not done properly anyway. I don't know if we want to run our camera by that. I'm a little concerned about that, but we'll try here for a second. So this is running across, there's no trap, that's out of code, and then it's coming up to this spot right here, which we're assuming is the vent junction that they put in, because it goes up into the attic space, and then it goes down, and this probably catches the kitchen vent, or at least it should, and then tie into the kitchen line. So this laundry line is all out of code, and going to have to be corrected. They're going to have to go ahead and probably run an exposed standpipe outside the wall, and then run it back into the wall to tie back in to this piping. That may need to be done from the exterior of the house, otherwise all the drywall would have to be opened up across, which is probably not feasible because the cabinets would be in the way from the kitchen area. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just run some water down the kitchen here, and we'll go ahead and see if we've got any movement. So we're going to pause the video. Okay, so we went ahead and ran a little bit of water down the kitchen drain, and we took apart the trap so we can access the line. We can actually see initially that it appears that the kitchen drain is not connected properly to the vent to start. But we'll put our camera down there in a minute. But when we look inside the wall, for the kitchen drain, it makes an immediate downward turn, and there should be a T-junction. Now, they are allowed to travel 3.5 feet before they connect to the vent, but we're not sure if they did at all. Now, we've located this outside of the house, and we'll go ahead and show that once we're done in the inside here, this T-junction. So this is where the laundry is connected into the vent. It's just that it's the wrong size pipe. There's no trap, no standpipe, and we have a screw penetrating the pipe, so that means it's going to leak out through there and cause other problems. So we're going to go ahead and move our camera just to the edge of this screw, and we'll go ahead and locate this and mark it on the outside of the house. Okay, so we've marked this on the outside of the house, so we'll eventually move our camera to show that. So we're going to pull back out of the system here and go down through the kitchen. So you can see we're inside a long horizontal pipe, several feet long, and then we basically come up through one 90-degree elbow and then into the piece. So they improperly ran this laundry line. It's completely out of code and not functional whatsoever. It's going to have to be completely redone, and that's going to require some holes to be opened up through the outside and to access the pipes. So the pipe is essentially coming down here, immediately makes a 90-degree turn. As you're following my finger, just runs across the wall. I'm going to back up here, and goes over, and then just past this wall area here, another foot or so barely, it hits the T-junction, go up for the vent, and then down for its drain. So we're going to pause the video and move over to the kitchen. Okay, so we've gone ahead and detached the trap for our clean-out access for the kitchen. So you can see normally there would be a T-junction right here as you enter the wall. because the pipe has to connect into the vent system. But this line is immediately making a downward turn. So you can see it's going down. We've not had any T-junctions yet. So as of right now, we do not have a proper vent connection. We now have another slight turn here on the line. And now it appears we're running across the horizontal line. So this is improper, not to code, and could be an issue for drainage as well as for odors. So we can see here we're making another turn, going down and across, and this is probably the T-junction right here that picks up the laundry. So this can't be the vent connection. We're too far away. It wouldn't be allowed even if it was. So same thing as the laundry, a wall is going to have to be opened up both inside here and on the outside of the house. The pipe will have to be cut into, a T-junction added, and then reconnected into the current vent pipe that's inside the wall, or it's a whole new one off of this kitchen run around the window to get up above the rooftop. So we'll dump a little bit of water down the kitchen, or excuse me, the laundry drain with a small bucket to see if this is the T-junction where these two come together. So we're going to pause the video. Okay, so you can see we have water running through the laundry drain. We put a little hose and dumped it down there. So that is in fact the T-junction for the laundry. So you can see that's where it's coming together and emptying into the system here. Back up on this part of the line here. So you can see the distance we're out, about 6 feet or so. It says 11 feet on the counter, but we've got about 4 feet outstretched. I don't believe we've traveled that far. It's possible right there. I'm trying to see if there was another double T-junction put into this, that they tried to make it for a vent, but I'm not seeing anything. Again, you're only allowed to travel 3.5 feet for an 1.5-inch line and 5 feet before you get to a vent. And so the way this is plumbed is 100% not correct. I'm going to pull back up through here. So here's the beginning of our line. So we're right at about 5.5 feet actually. So again, we go down and we have a turn. We have another turn. We're running across. So right now we're already at the 4-foot mark. Now we're running across here. And I'm trying to see if that is another T-junction. Does not look like it. Looks like that's just some glue that was on the line, making that little edge mark. I was trying to see if it was a shadow or not for a T-junction. So there's definitely no vent piece here. We're going to go ahead and shut the laundry water off. Okay, so we now have the laundry water off, so we'll now check this line. So this should have good downhill slope and hopefully doesn't hold water. We know it's a very tight crawl space. We assume also that the line by the toilet that was added with new T-junction was where the kitchen connects into. Now you can see some construction debris in the line right here. Oh wow. We're completely backed up here with a bunch of debris. In fact, we noticed as we were filming the water was slow to drain out. So you can see there's actually like little chunks of wood and maybe some wall debris. This does not look like, of course, any type of kitchen debris, fat or grease or food buildup. So that's definitely some wood particulate. So when they were constructing this line, somebody let some stuff fall into the pipe. We're going to go ahead and run that water again here. It looks like the line was actually filling up. So we're going to... Got some water running through here. It's going to show up any second. There we go, behind the camera. So you can see it's actually filling up the entire pipe. And so our camera is about to go underwater. There you go. So the line is clogged and backed up. We have a lot of debris in there. So this is going to have to be snaked and then re-camera it again by whoever does the snaking, be it our company or any other plumber, to verify that all this debris is completely out of there and that this pipe has the proper downhill slope. We do believe, again, that this entire line was replaced all the way to the main, that from the first part of the inspection we showed you that there was a new 4x2 junction, ABS, under the house, and I think that they had replaced this all the way across. So that's going to have to be completely cleaned out, and then the line is going to, again, need to be inspected to show that it's cleaned out and that there's not any proper, there's no improper slope on the rest of the pipe the rest of the way out, because we cannot push through that. So we just shut the water off. So you can see the line is completely filled up, and now it's slowly draining down and out. And it should never do that, and obviously, as you can see, as we noted here, we've got heavy construction debris clogging and backed up inside the pipe here. You can see little wood chips actually floated to the top of the line there and kind of stuck. So, take another photo of that. Okay, so again, this is another major problem because there's no access under the house. So it should be able to be remedied by snaking. I would also recommend that the plumbing company that comes out, be it us or any other one, they also bring a small hydrojetter for this line, because if the debris with running water and a cable can't be pushed out, you're going to want to use a small hydrojetter to really clean this up really well. So we're now going to pause the video and pull out and show the outside of the house where we noted the laundry drain. Okay, so we moved to outside the house. This is the kitchen window right here, and right about here is where the kitchen drain is entering the system. We don't have anything marked, but anyway, it's right about here in comparison to the window. Back up the camera a little bit. So this is where the line is entering from under the cabinet, and it's just going straight down and across. As we move over here, we use some blue tape to make it really stand out. Normally we use green for sewer and drain, but this is the vent pipe right here. And so it goes up, continues up, and then the drain continues down across that little T-junction. Now the blue line running across is the laundry drain. So you can see there's the window above the laundry. That's where it starts, dumps in really quick, makes one 90-degree turn, runs across. This red mark with this little red X, that's where the screw is penetrating. We can actually see a cutout here on the wood from a repair, and so either that or something else, that's where that screw is penetrating the line. And again, that laundry drain's running across, hitting the vent, and then going down for its drain. So the kitchen, we see no connection from the camera where it connects into this vent pipe that it needs to. And then the laundry drain, again, has no standpipe, no trap, is the wrong size, and we have a screw penetrating. So that all has to be redone. So the kitchen not having a vent can be an issue. For one, obviously odors can build up and be emitted up through the sink. Secondly, it needs air in the line to help things to drain out. So when you fill up the sink really high and tall and pull it, the plug, let it all go down at once, it's basically, if it doesn't have any air getting into the line, it will have problems and trying to drain out. It'll be gasping for air. So the wall needs to be opened up again to do these repairs on all the laundry in whatever fashion, and then at that time they can re-verify when that's exposed. There's definitely no tie-in from the kitchen. We could find none on the video, so it looks like they're going to have to do something about the kitchen venting as well. So that concludes this recording.